Yes, you could say so. Because looking at the longer-term chart, the monthly chart, logarithmic chart over the past 10 years, it shows this fantastic bull run within a steep rising trend channel. Both the lower end and the upper end have been tested successfully for many times, so which makes this trend channel significant. And prices are currently testing the upper end around 10,250 during this month. So, yeah, the upside potential on a very short-term basis seems to be limited. But I'd like to emphasize that looking back at the periods August 2014 and April 2015, prices consolidated at the upper end of this rising trend channel, in the upper region of this trend channel for a year almost. So a test of the upper end of the trend channel does not necessarily mean that we will see a sharp correction from here. And that was the same during January 2018 and August 2018. Prices also stayed and crawled around the upper end of this rising trend channel. So that's something to keep in mind. It doesn't necessarily mean a sharp correction from here. The second point I'd like to raise is that looking at the velocity of the recoveries during the past years, it seems that this velocity has become much more faster than before. Because looking in 2012, we saw that a correction took 12 months from top to bottom and back to the highs again. That was a period of 12 months. And in 2018, it took 8 months before prices rallied back towards the highs after making a top in July 2018. And only now, in 2020, after making this top in February, we needed only 4 months to get back to the previous high. So there's a kind of the rally of the recoveries is becoming much more faster, and that is not ruling out that we are starting a kind of an acceleration, longer-term phase within the uptrend, but therefore we need a break above the upper end of this rising trend channel after possibly a brief pause. So in the end, I think the picture is still bullish, but we need a break above the upper end of this rising trend channel to become in the kind of a final stages of acceleration phase.
Just briefly, if I could ask you about the few companies, these FAANGs, that have been the primary drivers of a lot of the gains that we've seen. What do you see for them?
Yeah, it's very interesting to see. They got hammered during the February crash, but looking at the relative chart, the daily chart from this FAANG index in relation to the Nasdaq 100 chart, you see that from this March lows, that these FAANG stocks and index are definitely outperforming the Nasdaq 100 index, and this is already a strong index. So that means that's just a leadership of these 10 stocks within the index. Of course, you'd like to see somewhat broader market participation for a sustainable uptrend, but as that doesn't necessarily mean that we could not see a rally within the uptrend and further gains. But if it's still concentrated on these FAANG index, then you should say that even if a break above the upper end of the rising trend channel in the Nasdaq 100 index on a longer-term basis, possibly, that it will not be very sustainable, but it's just a kind of a blow-off situation within this market, as long as this FAANG index is outperforming the Nasdaq 100 index.